and welcome to Chat with Gunner, episode 123. Today is one of the first days of June. It's not the first day. I believe it is actually the third day? Second day? Second day of June, right?
It is the second day.
I'm not quite sure. Today's Thursday. You're watching this right now, if you're watching it, as it premieres on YouTube on Sunday. So it would not be the second. But most likely, maybe you're watching it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or any day, you know?
Any day after today.
It could be the year 2050, and you're watching this grandpa talk about how life was in the month of June 2022.
Shoot, in 2050 will be the same age as Tom Cruise is.
Speaking of dime pieces, Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise might be, after looking at his pictures on the Google machine, for you people in 2050, it's a computer. It's we go to it. That's how we figure out information. I'm sure you guys just get it in your brains. But anyways, so Tom Cruise is a dime piece, man. I mean, he's 59 years old. He turned 60 years old in July. And he looks really good. No homo. No homo. And not to offend the homos, but no homo.
Well, okay, Gunner, come on.
What do you mean?
You gotta try better than that.
What do you mean?
Actually, no. In 2050, you shouldn't have said anything there.
Well,
you just
wait a minute.
Anybody.
If it's 2050, let's be honest. 2050, we don't have white and black people or any of that.
Actually,
it's just
probably gonna be pretty mixed.
I think we'll be very mixed, primarily mixed at that point. Like the boomers of that age, the grandparents of that age will be, whatever they were. But for the most part, I think we're going to be pretty mixed up, and I like that better. I think a mixed culture is the way to go, because then what are you going to do? You can't really. You can't play racism, because if you're all mixed, y'all got a little bit of everything in you, because so you're all oppressed.
Yeah, y'all get to know how it feels to be me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm in the, obviously I'm biased a little bit with Tia, but, the darker skin, a little bit of a sun-kissed skin,
Is that what they call it these days?
That's what I call it. Her skin actually exactly to a T.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I think we need to get rid of these old school whites and blacks. We need to get rid of them. We just need to go straight.
Somebody's got to clip that out, Gunner. Come on,
What
man.
do you mean? We need to get rid of the whites and the blacks.
Okay.
And we need to go more mixed culture. I'm tired of this racism stuff from you whites and you blacks. We need to go more mixed. That's the way we need to do it. Anyways, getting off topic. Top Gun 2 was fantastic. Speaking of a diverse group of characters in a show, Top Gun 2 did a fantastic job. They had a female supporting actress. They had every color in the game, and they had the GOAT. They had Tom Cruise, the dime piece of the show, the best looking guy in the show, and he's 60 years old. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe. Well, I guess he was 56 or 57 when that took place, but either way, all kidding aside, Top Gun 2 is a fantastic movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but guess what? Bunch of airplanes.
What? Airplanes?
There's some shooting. There's some airplane, defense mechanisms. There's some.
Are you about to tell me that there's explosions in this movie?
Potentially people die in this, but in the movie though, fictionally they die. It's not a true story. They do die in the movie. There's returning characters. There's plays on the nostalgia of what happened in the first movie, aspects of it, and there's new stuff. And it's a happy ending, and it's a retro introduction. That's all I'm going to say. It's a modernized version of the first movie, except better.
Okay.
And you go to, I think, Rotten Tomatoes. It's very high scored on both the critics and the audience score. And I believe they got it right this time. And if you look at the first movie, it is higher up on the audience score, but is very low on the critics. And it's not as high on the audience score as you think it might be. I believe that's just a bunch of people living in the the 80s and the early 90s being a fan of that type of pop culture film. But Tom Cruise crushed it yet again. And from what I hear on the old interweb is that he didn't even want to do it in the first place. He had to be talked into it. So it's really cool that he did it. Val Kilmer being a part of it was, I think most people that enjoy Top Gun 1, I guess it'd be a special moment for them because of what Val Kilmer's going through in his personal life, and being able to bring that to the big screen was pretty cool on Tom and the directors and the producers and everybody. But, yeah, man, last week, pretty busy with everything. Work's kind of crazy with the new sales team. I've been putting out all of these other interviews and podcasts on the channel. Interviewing a bunch of people in the logistics side of things, on the sales side of things, more entrepreneurs, business owners, content creators, people like that. I'm having those conversations throughout the workday, and I've got some really good interviews lined up, and it's really cool, man. I was telling my niece, because she asked to be on the show, and we're going to get her in studio. She's doing real estate, but she asked me about being on the show, and I was like, it's crazy right now because this is the first time since we've been doing the podcast that I have too many people asking to be on the show for me to organize that aspect of it, because I've never had to deal with this, and live like my personal life, the coaching part of me, being with Tia, being with my family, and then also being a vice president of a logistics company. So I'm having to figure that out, and I'm trying to like book out, a week out, 2 weeks out, or whatever it might be. And LinkedIn has a really cool feature that I'm able to utilize with StreamYard. For you people that are doing podcasts, you might want to think about this, or if you're putting out content on LinkedIn, and that is that you can set an event on LinkedIn, and then when you go to your StreamYard, you can select an event that you've already selected on one of your social medias, and that's when the StreamYard link goes live. So that's a really cool way to do it, to be able to let people know, hey, I'm doing this interview at this time on this date. You can accept it. You'll get a notification when it's going live. You can already be in the chat and be chatting prior to the interview going live to ask questions. And then you get to see who's coming on the show, what they're going to be talking about. And then once that is filmed, that goes live on LinkedIn. And then I take that and then I write a little bit of something about what we actually talked about during the interview, because I don't know beforehand. And then that goes to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So I just had on David Quintilio. He was a senior vice president for UPS and was there for 36 years, the only job he had. And he just retired, and he just started a consulting firm for logistics as well, or all things supply chain. He was actually the head guy, the lead, one of the leads in Operation Warp Speed when they brought out the vaccine. So it was really cool to listen to him and get his insight and his industry knowledge, and just get to know these people a little bit better. And upcoming next week, I've got an interview with Jordan Stupar from Stupar Enterprises. Jordan was one of the top sales reps for Grant Cardone back in the day. He left Miami, went back to his hometown of, I believe, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to be a matter of fact. And he started up his own deal. He started up, I believe it was a CRM software or some type of a sales software. And then he started up his sales program, and now he's bringing in people under him with his sales team. And he's going out and doing a little bit of a more modernized version, a younger crowd type of outreach or marketing idea for sales, more digitally, but also throwing in the old school cold calling and the objection handling and stuff like that. So he's coming on to the show on Tuesday. That's already planned, and he's excited to do it. But other than that, it's just been kind of catching up with pop trends and figuring out what's going on in the world. One thing that comes to mind that we should probably talk about, Ethan, because I'm sure you've got some insight on it, and you probably know, I probably know what your opinion is, but I want to hear your deep thoughts, because I know how you get on these type of matters. But first, I believe,
about to ask you, Gunner, what
Yeah.
what are you drinking there? What is
Ethan,
that?
I'm so glad that you asked me what it is.
Don't put it forward, bullet back to you, because the focus is a little bit shallow.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, Ghost, we're getting there. So I would love for everyone right now to just put their immediately eyes on this orange and creamy looking can with the white letters right here, the white letters that says Ghost Energy. Now, this is the orange cream Ghost Energy, and let me tell you something. I found this energy drink a few weeks ago. I've talked about it several times on the podcast already. I promise you, I have drank at least one of these every single day that I have worked since I found it, because the gas station next to my office carries it, and they always have it in stock. And I stop there. I get 2 in the morning. I drink one when I first get to work. I drink one around noon. And these things are great. It's got 10 calories in it. It's got natural caffeine. It's got a few extra supplements in it and some vitamins. The slang back here is legendary energy, epic, focus, 0 sugars, and no artificial colors. 0 sugars per can, 0 fats per can, 0 artificial colors, and a transparent label. That's a big thing in supplements because I remember, I believe it was Muscle Farm. They got into Corey Gregory. They got into a lot of trouble with, not putting the right facts on the back of their labels. And in supplements, people do that a lot. They'll say it's got, 5 grams of creatine in it. It's really got like 2 grams of creatine in it or whatever it might be. So it's good to know that they do that. Anyways, best tasting energy drink I've ever had. Orange Cream Ghost Energy. I've actually reached out to these guys to see if we could do some of their transportation, some of their logistics, and they told me to reach back out later in the fall. But I've also reached out about getting a sponsorship or some sort of, affiliate program for the channel. I was like, it makes sense, right, to be able to be like, hey, do you guys want a Ghost Energy? Well, head over to ghostenergy.com or whatever, ghostlifestyle.com or whatever the website is, and pick you up a Orange Cream Ghost Energy. Enter the keyword code CWG and get 10% off of all your Ghost Energy drinks. Like, that should be something that is happening, but it's not. That's cool. Or just throw some free drinks at your boy. And guess what? I'll stack them up. I'll show this in every video I do moving forward. Every single video I do moving forward, every single time I'm working out, you will see this in my hand. You send me some free stuff, I got you. I'll promote your brand. But if not, I'm going to stick a Zoa energy can up here on the next episode of this podcast, and we're going to start a little competition, and I'll just let them keep riding. I'll get a Rain energy up here. I'll get a Zoa energy up here. I'll get the Ghost energy up here. I'll get a Bang energy up here. I don't like Red Bull, but I'll get a Red Bull energy up here. I might even do a little Monster Energy zero calorie, little 0 sugar Monster Energy up here. And because that's kind of my favorites, right? If I had to pick some. Now, also, there's another brand that has one called Purple Cosmic Stardust or something like that. Alina or Lani. I think that's the name of the energy drink. It's all right. Celsius, has some good ones too, but it's too much of like a fake sparkling water type of like a seltzer alcoholic beverage for me. Like, I don't want that. I want something that's easy to drink. It's got plenty of caffeine in it. Now, I know the Ghost only has 200 milligrams of caffeine. Now, for some of you people, you're like, holy shit, 200 milligrams of caffeine? Bro, you trying to have a heart attack? What I say to that is, step your game up, son. You talking to Mr. Stimulant, all right? Like, I could drink one of these and go straight to bed, which is exactly what I did last night when I met with Chris at his apartment complex. So I met with Chris last night. Chris, obviously, you guys know, he's been on the show several times. He's our in-house conspiracy connoisseur. He is our in-house conspiracy expert. He's also running this place. Very proud of him and everything he's done here with Dumpster Fire Studios and keeping this vision alive. But, we're working on some stuff. I think the plan for me and him for a long time has been to figure out a way to collab in some sort of way that makes sense and not just for fun, right? We've tried a couple things, and, it just mutually is just like, this is just not good timing. It's just not going to work, or maybe the finances are here, or whatever. Finally, Dumpster Fire Studios is in a good place financially. I mean, everybody's on staff here. Everybody's on payroll now. They have a team around them. It is not just a hobby or a passion. It is an actual thing. So we are brainstorming on some things that they already kind of have in line that we can kind of throw my brand on top of as well in my niche and kind of see where it goes. That's all I'm going to say for now, but I'm excited about all that. So we were up last night I was at his apartment till after 12, so after midnight, and then drove home. He's about 30 minutes away from me, so drove home, got home about 12:30, and then I was in bed, and I was back up at 3:15. Yep, you heard it, kids. There is no rest because now I know that I can get into the gym every morning at 3:15. I have zero excuse not to wake up, no matter how tired I am, how little sleep I got. Or what day it is. Like, I know that when Tia's home, I can get up and I can go work out. I have zero excuse. Don't make an excuse, Gunner. Do not make it. So 3:15 rolled around, and guess what? I hit snooze. I'm not going to lie. I did. I hit snooze, but I did get up. 3:30, got up. I was at the gym at 4 a.m., walked in, hit that sauna up, hit a little shoulder workout, which I believe is posted on both Instagram and TikTok if you want to go over to those channels and check those out, both CWG Podcast. And, yeah, man, got the workout in, got to work, had a good day. Marcus was with me today again at work. Let's try that again. Marcus was with me today again at work. So now that he's out of school, he's with me quite a bit unless, we have somebody watch him, which fortunately enough for us, we have a couple people that can. But what I wanted to get to, Ethan, is Johnny Depp and Amber Turd. So, what was your thoughts?
I've got thoughts.
Let's hear them.
I've said them all before, though. Like, this is nothing new. I knew what was going to happen because of how the trial had been going.
Yeah.
Recap, Amber Heard came out a couple years ago, 2017, 2016, said that Johnny Depp was an abusive husband. They got a divorce. The allegations came out in The Sun, which is a British tabloid. Tabloid is subjective, I guess.
Sure.
But a rag.
Right.
Not necessarily the greatest of papers.
Yeah.
It's no New York Times. All right?
Like they pay people to take pictures of certain things and write articles about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they put out this hit piece. I mean, that's the only thing you can call it. On Johnny Depp. Goes to court because it's defamation. Defamation is spoken. In print, it's libel. But, he sued them. He failed, though. He lost that one. So, in turn, not because of the loss, but because Amber Heard was lying, he took a defamation case up against her because she was lying. She was saying all these terrible things about him that weren't true. And that's where the core of the Sun argument was they were just printing what they were told. It's not on them. It's on her. Gotcha. So she's held legally liable for the libel and the slander. So they've gone to court, and I don't remember how many counts he won. She did win one of them, which lessened the eventual payout that he's going to receive from her.
Sure.
But I mean, Johnny Depp hasn't been in, they're not casting him for the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Because of all this?
Yes, which, I mean, let's be honest here, Pirates of the Caribbean wouldn't be a franchise without Johnny Depp.
Are they replacing him?
Margot Robbie is supposed to be in it, but I don't think they can replace him. I think the best that they could pull off is just not having Jack Sparrow in the movie, which again is ridiculous.
Sure. Yeah.
The last movie that came out, I don't know, Pirates 5 or whatever it is. With the other guy, I can't remember his name, but that movie was not necessarily a Captain Jack Sparrow based movie. It was he was a main side character is the best way of putting it.
Okay.
He shared the main character role.
Gotcha. Well, he's the reason why people came.
Yeah, exactly. But he wasn't a big part of it, and people reviewed it pretty low compared to the first three, at the very least. And so, yeah, he won, I think, for some reason the number is 10 in my head. He won like 10 of the 15 counts or something like that.
Okay.
And she won one of her countersuits. The actual payout is upwards of $10 million.
Oh.
Her winning was about $2 million. So she's ending up having to pay eight and some change $1 million in this lawsuit, which is higher than her net worth. So yeah, she got what she deserved because she lied.
Right.
And I get that people still believe her because of X, Y, and Z. But that, to me, that just shows that you didn't actually watch the trial.
Right.
As a trial. You just watched it to get the scoop on what happened.
Right.
Everything came out. Kate Moss was there, which is Johnny Depp's ex, I believe. I haven't followed it as closely as some people in my circle have. But some of his exes were there, and they corroborated Johnny's testimony on his character. Amber kind of dug her own grave because they weren't going to bring up anybody from Johnny's past. Like it's a concept in legal in law. It's called opening the door.
Mm-hmm.
So if at the beginning of court, you guys, the two parties agree not to bring something up.
Okay.
If one of you does, that means the other side can also do that in the same sort of way.
Okay.
So I believe at the beginning of the trial, they said that Amber Heard couldn't bring up, or Johnny's team couldn't bring up Amber Heard's past relationships because evidently she was arrested for domestic violence.
Oh. Okay.
Or something. Again, everyone go look this up because I'm actually not as confident as I usually am on things like this.
Sure.
But they said, Amber Heard's team said that they couldn't do that.
Okay.
But then Amber, on one of the days that she testified, said the name of Kate Moss. She said the Kate Moss incident.
Okay.
Well, she opened the door.
So now they could bring it up.
They can bring in Kate Moss at the very least to either corroborate or testify against that story.
Sure.
And so it has been a long time coming for all this to happen, for lies to be shown out into the world as lies.
Right.
But there is sort of, because law is messy for the average person. Like, I barely understand the concept of that open door thing. Like,
right.
Just because she said something, they can bring it up as well. Like, that stuff makes somewhat sense, but like other things as far as like, what is and isn't evidence, why isn't evidence, blah 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 blah. What makes sense, what can be objected to, what can't be objected to. Shoot, Amber Heard's whole team was just objecting to just about everything Johnny said.
Everything, yeah.
Literally everything, and it was kind of a shit show for them. But cut it all short. I mean, Johnny Depp deserves this. Like, he has been run through the gutter because people could say whatever they wanted.
Sure.
And that's, one, not fair because he didn't do anything.
Right.
But B, sure, Johnny obviously has his own problems. He's very similar to Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man. Like, he does drugs. He's a partier. He drinks.
But he's open about doing drugs. It's
And
not like he hides it.
He is. And that's the thing. Like, you hear all of these stories about Johnny Depp, and if you don't follow who Johnny Depp was in the 90s, who he was in the 2000s, what he does outside of just being a movie star,
yeah,
you wouldn't understand. But if the people that understood, or the people that think about these people as people, not just actors, and it should really tell you something that Amber has done all of this, and she's objectively just a bad person. I don't care if you agree or disagree that Johnny actually abused her. She's a terrible person for how she reacted,
right?
How she was as a wife to Johnny.
Sure.
And I don't know how you can defend that. I barely want to defend Johnny with some of the stuff that I've heard about him because I don't agree with a lot of that kind of stuff. And he obviously has his issues, but I'm more willing to defend Johnny because he's the party not at fault. Amber is.
Right.
That, I'm sitting here talking about it from his point of view because not enough people understand that this is a big deal because of all of the stuff that came out a couple years ago. The Me Too movement was good because bad people got put away,
sure,
or got what was coming to them.
Right.
But Johnny Depp isn't that kind of bad person. He isn't a bad person.
He's a bad person to himself.
Yeah.
Not to anybody else.
Yeah. And it fascinates me that how quickly everyone just sort of believed her.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of turned on Johnny, and that's terrible. You hear other stories about like Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser was huge, late 90s, early 2000s. Like, he was in everything.
Yeah.
And then something happens in his marriage, and he is off the face of the earth for, I don't know, a decade,
Yeah.
2, and he's coming back finally. But you can tell that he's gone through it.
Oh yeah.
And sure, rich people have their problems, but like that's problems that nobody should go through.
Sure.
Well,
money don't solve problems. Money
Exactly.
make problems bigger.
Exactly.
You got to find like what that happiness is, and a lot of the guys that, if you start in Hollywood at such a young age, that's why you see all these child actors just fall apart, man. It's because they don't know what the real world is like. It's good to have a little healthy balance of a little bit of real world and a little bit of, I guess Hollywood per se.
Yeah.
So what I gotta rant for a second. You ready for
Okay.
this? I'm about to rant. I'm gonna start doing these things where I'm gonna start videoing like a certain
Clip.
like a 3-minute deal.
Yeah.
Post that up tonight to promote for Sunday.
Sounds good.
Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Check this out. All right, here we go. So what I want to talk about at this point in the episode is the MJF promo. Now listen, guys. Yeah, everybody knows I'm not the biggest of an AEW fan. Doesn't mean that I hate it. I just don't watch it. It's not my thing. But I don't watch WWE either. I watch clips with Marcus, and he tells me to search WWE on YouTube. But otherwise, the MJF promo was really good, and it's getting a lot of buzz on social media. And I just wanted to talk about it for a second. One, because I've worked him in the past. I enjoyed working with him. He's really good, and it's easy to tell that he was going to be a star even then. I believe he was probably 22 then. Now he's 26, and he is undoubtedly a star in professional wrestling, and he deserves to be paid what it is he's getting paid. And I believe that they're doing a really good thing right now with the angle they're working, whether it is partially shoot, partially work, or on both sides of the spectrum, or one or the other polarizing wise. Either way, it's a great thing. I think that his promo was fantastic. I think that it felt real. I think that it got the point across, and it got every reaction out of that crowd that it could possibly get. They booed him, they hated him, they cheered him, they respected him. Now they're kind of on his side. Now they're kind of antsy with it, and then CM Punk comes out. So listen, MJF is a star. MJF is going to be in AEW. MJF is going to be in WWE. And MJF is going to be a household name for a long time in professional wrestling, similar to The Miz, if not even bigger, just the way he carries himself. Depends on how he kind of gets booked in WWE. But in AEW, if he stays there, he's going to be a star. WWE, he's going to be a star. Regardless, either way, I just want to say, hey, man, that was a really good segment. I don't watch a lot of wrestling these days. I watched that because it had a lot of buzz behind it, and with everything that happened over the weekend with him, no showing the appearance, and then was he going to be at the pay-per-view? It was great. From a marketing perspective, that whole situation, whether real, planned, not planned, fake, whatever it might have been, that was great. So MJF knocked that out the park, bro. Really good stuff, man. It's really hard to compete with that. Now, what else can we talk about, Ethan? What's something else that's happening right now in the world that maybe we could touch upon? If not, let's get the out of here.
I mean, there's not really anything, and that's what's kind of surprising. Well, for me, there's a PlayStation conference going on right now.
Yeah,
that, I gotta hurry up and go listen to. But no, yeah, there's not really anything going on.
Oh, I got something.
Oh.
So I'll do this one too. We'll go ahead and clip this one too. I'm gonna start doing this a little bit more often.
Sure.
So tomorrow, Ethan, is June the 3rd, and at 11 a.m. I get to hop onto a jet plane, and I get to go from Chattanooga to Charlotte in a little connecta flight, and then I get to go from Charlotte all the way to the great state of Arizona, which I've never been to. I'm going to land in the Phoenix International Airport. I'm going to pick up my rent-a-car, which is going to be a full-size pickup truck, and then I'm going to drive to Scottsdale, Arizona, where my hotel is going to be. And then I'm going to drive to the Lifetime Fitness, where I'm going to get a workout in. And then I'm going to drive back. I'm going to relax for the night. And then I'm going to get my mind right, get ready, get prepared. Because the following morning, on that Saturday, June the 4th, I get to attend a workshop type of event with Andy Elliott from the Elliott Group and Brad Lee from the Dropping Bombs podcast and from Lightspeed and from so many other different things. You've seen these guys on the internet. Both of them have a fantastic presence. Both guys are great salesmen. Both guys are great marketers. Both guys are great public speakers. They're persuasive, and they're very motivational in their content as well. But they're matter of fact. Matter of fact is going to win every time with me. I love transparency. I love matter of fact. I love real. And if I can get personal with someone in arm's length of someone to where I can grab them and tackle them if I needed to, I love that type of thing. So I can ask questions. I can get actual feedback. And it's not just a big event that you go to and absorb. Now listen, nothing wrong with those events. Not at all. I love those events. But this is something a little bit different, a little bit more intense, a little bit more personalized, and I'm ready for that to happen. So Saturday, I can't wait to get there. Andy, Brad, the Elliott group, the whole team. I'm fired up to get to the show. I'm fired up to get to the conference, fired up to get to the event, fired up to learn something. Now listen, this is an open challenge. I think it's Lifetime North. It's in Scottsdale. I'm not sure how far that is away from the Elliott group. I'm not sure, if you guys work out in the morning or whatever it might be. But Friday night, at any given time, if you're willing to go one-on-one with the People's Captain at Lifetime Fitness North, whatever it is in Scottsdale, Arizona, this is an open challenge, Andy. This is an open challenge, Brad. This is an open challenge to anybody on the Elliott group. Come get a workout, man. I'd love it. I'd love to meet you guys prior to the event if we possibly can, get to know you a little bit better. And there's no better way to get to know a bro than by stepping into the gym, sweating it out, hitting a good lift, lifting some heavy weights, and then jumping to the sauna and seeing who can sit in there the longest. That's the best way to get some bro time. So I'm excited about Saturday, and I'll see you boys at the event. I'm super excited about that event coming up. This whole podcast is going to feel like a bunch of commercials. But you know what? I
ton of commercials, bro.
I feel like we've got to get a little bit more. Here's the Gunner Brainstorm Hour.
Okay.
All right. This is how we make this show better, Ethan.
Well, we were going to hit 30 minutes.
Okay. We were going to hit 30 minutes, but now we have we've done the show. Thank you for watching the show, guys. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification, go to Spotify, leave reviews, Apple Podcasts, however you do it. We appreciate everything that you do. Now, if you're still listening, you're into the bonus content of the episode. Congratulations. You made it. This is not what gets promoted. This is absolutely fucking free to you right now. And this is called Inside the Mind of Gunner. All right? And this is where Ethan tells me what ideas sound stupid immediately as they come out of my mind. Or maybe we got something there. Let's dive into it a little bit.
All right.
All right. So we've got to, Ethan, this is a pep talk.
Okay.
We've got to increase.
Yeah.
All right, we got to increase. So this is what we're going to do. This is actually, welcome to Gunner and Ethan's business meeting. This is a one-on-one. This is a sit-down behind the scenes. We've got to figure out a way to.
This is already.
Oh yes, it's already. Yeah, we got to figure out a way to up content a little bit. Now, I'm not saying we need 5 episodes or 5 videos per thing, but how is it possible? Because I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of shit on your plate. So do I. But is it possible? And how long does it take? Because if it takes too much time, I don't want you to do it. We'll figure something out. How long would it take to take maybe 2 clips out of each podcast prior to the podcast releasing and putting those clips out in like vertical form, with the long video prior to Sunday? Just that. How long would that take?
As long as I'm prepared and we have good content, I could write down in the show notes that I do. So when we have a guest,
forget good content, just any content.
Any content.
In
any case, if I hear it and I'm like, oh, that's good, I'll just write down the time code and be like, okay, that's where it ends. I just gotta find where it begins.
Gotcha.
And when I actually go to edit this stuff, I'll just mark it in Premiere and we'll go from there.
Okay. So that's a pretty
actually not that hard.
So it's actually easier if you're doing it like as you're putting the video together to
as
done.
We're filming it, it's better. Because I don't listen. I got a lot of time after the show, but I don't have enough time to listen to a whole 2-hour show again.
Yeah.
So I just gotta take the notes when we're doing it.
No, I get that. So would it be better if we're a little bit more scripted on Thursday?
No, we don't have to be.
Well, not scripted. Okay, not scripted. More organized.
I mean, we can be organized.
You know how we've always talked about being like, all right, this is what we're doing. We're talking about this topic, and that's how long we're talking about it. Like,
I wouldn't want to put time codes on those. I would want to say we're going to talk about this, but we also have these other things. So consider that while we're talking.
So we need to kind of go into segments being like, all right, so let's talk about
X.
blank.
Yeah.
And then that's like the beginning of the video that would be on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube stories.
Don't have to do that. I want it to, I think people would still enjoy fluid content.
But it would be a bookmark for you to be able to go back and pull right after it.
Yeah, as long as I know what to expect, I can write down the time code of, oh hey, we started talking about it then.
Okay. Or would it make sense to have pre-planned things that we're going to time code regardless of how it comes out? We just know this is what's going out as promotional. And then as you're listening, if you hear anything that sounds good or like a sound clip or sound bite, whatever, you would pull that. Is that too hard?
I feel like that's too much planning.
Too much planning?
We have been doing so good with this podcast. We haven't planned shit.
Right.
And so I think we should try it my way of, okay, Ethan's just gonna write down whenever the clips are, and then when I'm editing that night, I can just pop it in.
So you're gonna go young Jamie style and not let Joe pick what is the good stuff. He's just gonna take what he thinks is the good stuff.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to trust me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna trust you.
You're gonna have to.
But I'm gonna promise.
Yeah.
I need 2 clips
Out of this one? Because this one's...
per. You could easily get 2 out of this.
I mean, you already got 2. You just filmed them.
Well, hey, man, that's other stuff. That could be additional behind-the-scenes footage.
Fair enough.
But yeah, but because it looks good the other way. This looks like, I mean, maybe they'll look okay because it's not like pulled from cross clip. But it's just, I'm trying to make it look more visibly pleasing. It's like, hey guys, we're doing content, but we're half-assing it. Like that's how I feel like I'm doing it. Just because the quality's not there. But we're doing content, so there's something. What else was on my brain to talk about? What else? It's so I figured out a way to pull full YouTube clips down. Did I tell you about that?
Yes.
I still need to send you that. It's like Y2 mate or something like that. But would I have to do that to get clips from the interviews that I do when I'm at work? Because that's not on.
So the best way of doing those would just be in our creator studio. You
Mm-hmm.
can just download the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then that will be definitely more me because I don't, no offense, it's kind of a weird thing of having to edit that down to a single clip.
Yeah.
And then having it in a format that works for mobile.
Sure. No, I mean, I have no freaking clue. Only I know to do is take a damn class. So,
yeah. But yeah, no, that's something that the way you can help me is because you're going to be in the conversation, you're talking. If they say something that's like gold, write down the time code.
So what I do at the end of every one of those episodes, towards the end, you know how I am, but I'm always like, one more thing for you, and then I start talking more. I ask them, if you had one tip for somebody jumping into logistics or into supply chain, what would that tip be? I'm taking the strategy from Tim Ferriss. So when Tim Ferriss was doing his podcasting in the early days, he asked the same questions to every person. He got their answers. He then took their notes from the podcast and turned it into a book called The Tools of Titans. And all it was the word tracks of what everyone answered those same questions to across different genres of podcasters. Like, people, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Triple H, all these guys. And he created a book called Tools of Titans. So if we can do that in logistics, similarly, that could be the content that goes out so everybody knows, hey, when Gunner has a guy on or whatever, the one tip is going to be the post that goes to TikTok or Instagram, and they're waiting for hey, you like the tip? Go watch the rest of the episode, blah, blah, blah.
Makes sense.
I think that's a good play. What else do I got going on? That's about it. That's the end of my brainstorm sessions, unless you got anything else to add.
That was a short brainstorm.
Yeah, that was a very short brainstorm.
Yeah, we get through it.
Me and Chris pretty much deleted my brainstorm last night, which is good because have you ever felt like you just had everything on your mind and no one to tell it to?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then more stuff goes on your mind and no one to tell that to?
100%.
And you're trying to get the bottom part of the pile of trash off your mind because it's so heavy. that's what happens to me quite a bit, and then that's why I like these, because when we do like interview, guest, like I'm not getting my weekly
your
my
relaxation.
shit out. Yeah. I'm not getting my weekly, like, this is my therapy, guy. You guys, listen, welcome to the Chat with Gunner podcast. Actually, this is my therapy session. When I rant and things, it's because I just gotta get things off my chest, and then I'm done. I'm done with it.
Yeah, heavy therapy isn't working anymore. You gotta find something else.
Yeah. So, but that's it. I'm here.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is what time is it?
6:55.
It's 6:55. It's early for us. We're usually starting right now.
Yeah.
But it is late also because I've got to get home. I got to bring food to the fam. And
what we having tonight?
If I'm picking, probably McDonald's or Wendy's, maybe Taco Bell. If they're, I love me some Taco Bell. So
yeah.
I might slide.
There's a Dairy Queen like right there.
I might slide up in the Taco Bell.
I haven't had Dairy Queen. So
wait a minute.
Wait,
so
whoa.
today is Sunday, right? If you're listening to this, it's Sunday.
Yep.
On Friday. This needs to be clipped, actually. I got to clip this. This is actually, Ethan, you want to.
Got
this
it.
This is you right here. This is what we're doing. All right. All right. So, right here, whatever this timestamp is, ready, go. So guys, it's Sunday right now. You're listening to the Chat with Gunner podcast. And I love how you guys just know I just went into character right there. And on this Friday, June the 10th, in Canton, Georgia, at 8 p.m. at Southern Honor Wrestling, I, Gunner Miller, the people's captain, the Hoss of Hosses, Mr. Scenic City, is coming to Southern Honor Wrestling. I'm stepping into the main event, and I'm taking on the Bloodbath Behemoth, the strong-styled psycho, the legend of deathmatch wrestling himself, Tank, with the Rev Dan Wilson by his side. Taking these guys on, we are doing the death match, the first real death match between two very high-level competitors. I'm kidding. There was a death match with him and Nathan. It was really cool as well. Bunch of blood. It was awesome. There's been some skewers in the Royal Rumble. Southern Honor has seen glimpses of the death match, and, I don't know if they know exactly what to think about it. But here we are. So, June 10th, Gunner Miller, First Tank, death match. Listen, guys, I don't say, hey, come to the show. If you can get to the show from right here in Chattanooga, you're 90 minutes from the Action Arena. If you can get to the show, I promise you, I will not let you down, because I'm not going to let Tank down. I'm not going to let Rev down. I'm not going to let Jeff G. Bailey down. I'm not going to let these guys down when it comes to, I'm not going to make a mockery of deathmatch wrestling. I am going to give this everything that I have. I promise you that, and I hope that you guys enjoy the show. So, June 10th, Canton, Georgia, Gunner Miller versus Tank, death match. Can't wait. You guys come out, check it out. Other than that, Ethan, that's all I got. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to tell my lovely, faithful subscribers to our family, the Chat with Gunner podcast, CWG podcast, to please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know that we're going live, or that we've posted a video, or anything that we do. Leave a comment below. In that comment, say, Gunner, good luck at your deathmatch wrestling. If you comment, Gunner, good luck at your deathmatch, I'll send you $10. How about that? Let's play a game. If you comment on Venmo, you see this, you do it, I'll send out $10 to whoever says, hey, Gunner, good luck with your deathmatch this Friday.
Just an unlimited number of people? You're not going to put a cap on that? Got to be careful, bro.
What? Yeah, I'll put a cap on 25.
25?
25.
That's higher than I thought it was.
25 people. 25 people. The first 25 people that say, hey, Gunner, good luck this Friday at your deathmatch. I'll Venmo you $10. How about that? Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Ethan, you should probably comment on that, right?
I'm definitely commenting.
Right? Everybody should comment on that. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Ethan, I appreciate you. Love you guys. The next one that will be coming out will be this one on Sunday. But on Tuesday, Georgia Stupar. It's going to be fantastic. Great sales guy. Can't wait to get him on. Got a good following as well. And then I'll line up some more stuff for the end of the week. All right. Appreciate it. Peace.